Good morning, everybody. Hope you all had a good day so far. I'm Brian Duffy, and I run our Rise business here at SAP. And Rise was launched approximately 18 months ago. And really, it was launched in order to help our customers address a couple of transformation challenges that they actually had. So firstly, how are they going to connect technology with their strategic ambitions? How are they going to safeguard the existing investments that have already been made in their technologies? And then how are they going to leverage the ecosystem in order to deliver for them? But at the same time, how are they then going to manage the ecosystem and all of these vendors to deliver for them? Now, at the same time, one thing which is hugely important, and probably the most important thing, is how are they ultimately going to deliver on the transformation on time for their business? Now, since we launched Rise, we've moved approximately 2,000 customers to Rise, as you heard with Christian earlier this morning. And we've adapted and we've supported customers of all sizes, from mid-market customers like Briggs of Burton to large enterprises such as the NBA and Tate & Lyle. And we have seen an incredible amount of support, as you heard earlier today, from the entire ecosystem. We, as Christian has said earlier, we have partners and integrators who are actually leveraging Rise for their own business needs, and at the same time, integrators that have launched new offerings to complement the Rise offering as well. And we wouldn't be where we are without our integrators and without the VARs who have greatly helped us as well. And then finally, I think we can share with you all that transformations happen at all customers, and transformation is happening within SAP. And the transformation within SAP has a name, and it's called Rise with SAP. And the great thing is we are pulling together the ecosystem and all of our customers and the hyperscalers in order to deliver for our customers. And I'm incredibly proud to stand here today in front of all of you to share the great successes that we've had, but at the same time, we're continuing to evolve. We as an organization, we're focused on delivering a clean core, on driving innovation and transformation end-to-end for all of our customers. And we're doing this so that our customers can take the lead with industry innovation to help drive, as you heard earlier, the top line, the bottom line, and the green line. We want our customers to never stop improving so that they can continually be reevaluating those business processes. And finally, we as an organization are completely committed to ensuring success for each and every one of our customers. And in speaking of customers, I'm delighted that today we have a customer joining us, which is GE Current. And GE Current has their foundation back in 1879, which was the year that Thomas Edison invented the very first incandescent light bulb. And from 1879 all the way to 2022, this organization has continued to evolve. We at SAP are actually quite similar to GE Current because our mission is to help improve people's lives, also, as you heard today, to make a sustainable difference, which is exactly what GE Current wants to do. And GE Current has a diverse history, and recently they were divested from GE and had an acquisition in 2022. And we're going to learn a little more about GE Current, and I couldn't be happier to welcome onto the stage and give him a huge round of applause, Mark Leclerc, the CIO of GE Current. You're welcome. So Mark, thanks for joining us today. And I shared a little bit about GE Current, but maybe it would be great if you could share a little about the company, first of all, your role within the company, and then we'll get stuck into the journey that you're currently on.
Yeah, great. Started 1879, I think is when Thomas Edison started the business, right? We've been around. We were divested from GE in 2019, in April of 2019, and my role it was brought on at that point in time as a CIO to separate, do the carve out from GE, and then stand up on our own 2 feet, and then move on and build the business from there. And I think, as you said, we just finished up an acquisition in February of this year of Hubble Lighting. So we now have two companies that were just part of another conglomerate, and not necessarily always focused on lighting, but GE's a big company. They got a lot of different pieces, and same with Hubble. And now we're just laser focused on lighting and intelligent controls for commercial industrial businesses.
So if we step back a little, so you were spun off from GE in 2019. Then there's a Hubble lighting acquisition that was made in 2022. And for the benefit of everybody in the audience, the spin-off was on ECC, the acquisition was on S4.
Yes.
And this presented a unique opportunity where kind of everything is colliding and you had to make a decision. So maybe you could briefly walk everybody through kind of the choice you made and why you chose to move with Rise with SAP.
Yeah, excellent. Great question. You have to look at this ECC landscape and obviously trending in the direction it is, and not being able to take advantage of some of the innovations that continue to come out with the S4 platform. It was a unique opportunity for us to kind of do a reverse acquisition, if you will, from a technology standpoint, and took S4 and said that's going to be our direction going forward. And the reason why we did that was we are under some pretty tight time constraints, and Rise allowed us to take the opportunity to really look at that schedule and figure out how to get it done a lot quicker. And so we did, and we've got to let the experts do it. We're a private equity group, so we don't have a big footprint of resources in the business to be able to do that. And we wanted to leverage the partner communities. We actually chose Fission Consulting to help us with the data components of that, and then obviously SAP doing Rise for us. So.
And now the path forward is going to be you're going to be moving to S4 in totality. And I guess one of the things that we didn't speak about, but I'm sure obvious for the audience, coming from GE, maybe you could talk a little about the customization that existed there and then the opportunity you see on the horizon in terms of moving to Rise and to that clean core.
Yeah, all big companies will do a lot of customizations for all the right and wrong reasons, I'm sure. But we focus on leveraging simple standard solutions within our footprint of applications without customization. Where we customize is going to be more focused on how we manufacture our product. So if we can continue to let ERP stand on its own 2 feet, standard solutions without customizations to get us to the end state, we can take advantage of the innovation activities that are coming without having to really do big, heavy forklift changes as a history has always proven itself.
And when you and I were speaking last week, one of the things you talked about was a conversation you had with the board in order to convince them to go down this path and the pivot away from customizations to just manufacturing products. So I just want to share with everybody a little around how you convinced them to go on this journey as well.
Yeah, it really becomes very easy. I mean, from an IT standpoint, we need to be focused on solving business problems within our company and not spending a lot of time on IT stuff. The more IT stuff we're doing is taken away from us building on the portfolio of our company and building the business. So working with each of my peers within the business and also talking to the board, it's like, look, we're going to simplify this process. We're going to let the experts kind of do it, and then we're going to take advantage of those capabilities as we go forward. And it was a really easy conversation, but on a financial note, it made it a little bit easier for us as well. Buying perpetual licenses to get us to get it all together was not going to be as nice, let's put it that way.
And there's a lot of similarities there in terms of what you talk about, because you said you're going to focus on what you do, which is make product. What we are focusing on at SAP is what we're really good at in our strengths of ERP. And at the same time, what we're doing is pulling together the ecosystem to work for you and pulling together all of the partners. And maybe just on the partnership point, I know that partnership is more than a word, right? And partnership is extremely important to you and to everybody at GE Current. So maybe you could share like what you expect from SAP and from your implementation partner and your hyperscaler as well.
Yeah, it is the true sense of the word of partnership. You have to be in the game together. We're all in it together. We got to be there together, and we have to lead in the same direction. If we're worried about what's in the T's and C's of contracts and those types of things, it just creates more complexity. And the partnership, enabling SAP to do what they do, and allowing Fission Consulting to do what they do from the data perspective. If we're all doing that together collectively, we get to the end state a lot faster. And I've never had the conversations with Fission or SAP about what wasn't part of the scope. It's always let's get through it, let's get it done, and then figure out what we got to do after.
Great. And one of the things we at SAP have developed, and I know you're benefiting from this, is an adoption framework to lay out specifically what everybody is responsible for in terms of SAP, customer, partner, and hyperscaler as well. And over the next couple of days, Mark, everyone's going to hear a lot about the power of technology and specifically the cloud as well. But maybe you could talk a little bit about the leadership and the culture that you need to create within your organization to go from that which was, let's face it, heavily customized to now to a clean core, and to have the buy-in from the business as well in terms of going down this very different journey than maybe where we would have been 3 to 5 years ago.
Yeah, every ERP implementation it's a business process transformation, not a IT project, right? So that transformation continues quite a bit. So we're spending a lot of time focusing on how to take advantage of the standards within the system, and then allowing the businesses to go along the ride with us. We've aligned each of our business units with leaders within IT to work collectively together to try to drive the success of the business project or process, to ensure that when we do change, which again we got fresh off from GE, HLI, the Hubble business coming in, everybody's got transformation happening. We can't constantly keep transforming every year thereafter. So if we can get it on the standard footprint of S4, we're gonna be a lot more successful.
And maybe you could share with everyone around, I know you're coming into testing, et cetera, but maybe just from when you signed to the journey to where you are now, what has surprised you, the good, the bad, and the ugly as well, but what has surprised you in terms of where you are now?
Yeah, we started the project effectively in March when we signed the contract with SAP for RISE. And at the end of this week, by Friday of this week, we'll have completed our first Mach 1 testing of all data. So pretty amazing. But what took us there and got us there so quick was the ability for SAP to stand up the landscape very quickly, and then partner with us in Fission to really get laser focused on getting that data in there and standing it up and moving it forward. So I guess if you really think about it, historically you'd have to do all that on your own, whether it's in a hyperscaler or on-prem, or you're going to have another third party out there doing your hosting and basis support. You got a lot less fingers to point around, and you get people taking accountability for what they got to get done. Yeah,
and I'm sure you never thought that you would be at a point where, in terms of an SAP project, you're talking approximately 45 days from start a project to moving into the testing phase.
I wouldn't be talking to here right now. I thought I'd still be doing some testing or even standing up in equipment.
Exactly. That's why we knew we needed you to come here and talk.
Yeah.
So then, Mark, in terms of your recommendations to other customers who are looking at this. So in terms of, we shared earlier, we have 1,600 customers who've moved onto RISE. A lot of them, as Christian said, 60% being net new names, but we have an install base that needs to move as well, that have a history in terms of on-premise. Maybe you could share with everybody, what's your recommendations and your advice to somebody who's evaluating a move to RISE?
Yeah, I had this thought in my mind when I was going into this about just letting the right people do what they're good at. We need to stay focused on the business and growing the business and improving the business with our capabilities in the application portfolio. But changing, let the people do what they're good at. Bring the right thought leadership to the room from all your organizations, whether it's all your business leaders, your business partners at SAP and third-party consulting services, and let them own their part. It does take strong leadership. It does take some real good, let's call it project management methodologies. But if you enable the teams to do their work, they're going to get it done.
Yeah.
And I think so those are probably, get the right business partners in the room, be very comfortable with who that third party is. And there's tons of them in the ecosystem. And hold everybody accountable.
Sure. And then maybe you can share about how's the business reacting to the journey now in terms of where we are?
Yeah, I mean, IT is not the holdup, right? We are a little bit right now to collapse the Hubble lighting business in, only because that just happened less than 60 days ago. So we're slightly a little a holdup there, but the rest of it, they're excited because they're staying focused on how do we improve our manufacturing and how do we improve our business processes, leveraging the capabilities that we're bringing along.
Yeah. And in terms of when you move from the customized landscape that you had now to the clean core on Rise, in terms of leveraging BTP for your differentiation, what does that look like in terms of how clean are you going to get the core at the end of the day?
Yeah, so we're only carving data out of our legacy ECC. We're not taking any customizations along. Again, to simplify that footprint, we will be leveraging IBP and other ancillary services from SAP to continue to help build that. But it's going to be a very standard core. We're not going to get under the covers there at all.
Yeah, and I think that's great to hear. And we drive the message now in the market and the ecosystem as well. And you'll see lots of the partners who have offerings that complement Rise with SAP, really a focus in terms of moving our customers to this clean core and showing what the art of the possible is. And I think what's so unique about your story at GE Current is the legacy that you have, right? The legacy dating back to 1879 and having something which has been so heavily customized, but still at the end of the day, having now an opportunity to actually get to that completely clean core, is really going to set your team up for success. But then maybe you could share with everybody in closing in terms of the future that you see for GE Current as well.
Yeah, we're going to bring these two companies together, Hubble Lighting and Current. And the focus is going to be sustainable capabilities, building our products, so that we can continue to make the light, or how should I say it, the lighting business brighter. Maybe that's the way we're going to do it. But yeah, just very laser focused on the business at this point, getting the two together and taking advantage of the innovation capabilities, specifically out of manufacturing. We talked a little bit about some of the warehouse robotics that are coming. Those are some things that we're very keen to look at to help us move forward.
Great. Well, Mark, I wanted to thank you for joining us today. I wanted to thank everybody else in the audience for coming as well. I'm sure that you're going to be hearing a lot about Rise over the next couple of days, and I know, not to Mark to keep your agenda really packed, but I know that Mark's willing to meet with customers as well. So Mark, thank you very much. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.